Hello friends, this is video 13 and this is for paper to public administration, and this video I will tell you the main questions that came for this particular topic in UPSC, and the topic is legacy of British rule in politics and administration. So this particular question came in 2014, that district collector is a legacy of British Raj and has largely remained insulated from the demands of contemporary professionalism. Discuss. So here you have to know about what was the origin of district collector when it was formulated in British Raj, and right now what are the challenges in front of district collector and how to overcome that, and what are the main legacy of district collector post from British era and how he has not been able to leave it. Then this particular question was of 10 marks. Then next question also came about critically examine the statement Thana police station as the last bastion of the waning British administrative legacy in India. So this particular question asks you about telling about Indian police during British rule, what was its function, that is law and order maintenance, and how it was doing it and how it has continued right now in independent India also. Then in 2013, so you can see that every year question is coming from this particular topic. In 2013, this question came that the Charter Act of 1853 marked the beginning of parliamentary system in India. Explain. So you should know all the charter acts and their main functions. I will tell you later. The second question is the design of the Indian police was to subjugate the Indian people in the aftermath of 1857. Analyze in the context of the Indian Police Act of 1861. So you should know about what was the first independence movement, that is 1857 revolt, and how Indian Police Act was rectified in order to make sure that in future nothing like this happens. So you can give the example of Jallianwala Bagh Kand also, in which police did a lot of excess. Apart from that, they were torturing our freedom movement nationalists, and they were doing lathi charge. Even Lala Rajpat Rai died during one such lathi charge. So you have to analyze in such situations. You can tell a little bit of history also while writing about administration, but mostly it should focus on the main features of Police Act. These are just examples. Then okay, in 2010 this particular question came that it is said that the British made a significant contribution towards modernizing the Indian administrative system on a rational legal basis. So what is this rational legal basis? This is that Weberian concept of bureaucratic ideal bureaucratic model. So similarly, they are talking you about the origin as well as the significance of bureaucracy in British administration, and justify the assessment with reference to the period from 1830 to 1865. So again, they are asking about a particular time period. So you have to tell only from 1830 to 1865. So from 1830 to 1865, you have that Charter Act of 1833, then Charter Act of 1853, then Indian Queen's Proclamation Act that came in 1858 after this first war of independence. Then you can tell a lot of things about Charter Act of 1861, and which contained a lot of reforms. There was a departmentalization system, then Indian Police Act, and so many things are there. So before 1865, there are a lot of things which come under the bureaucratic origin as well as its functioning. So you can tell all those things. And remember, this question is of 30 marks, so you have to write in very detail. Then next question came in 2009. The question was that bureaucracy developed by the British stifled the village self-rule. Comment. So in order to answer this particular question, you should know what is village self-rule and how it was before Britishers came to India, how the villages organized their own functions. So you should know something about Mughal administration also and the village self-government during the Mughals, and then only you can write that how this particular British rule changed the whole village autonomy system, and it villages had been independent, but now they were on the mercy of Britishers. Then in 2004 this question came. This particular question was of 20 marks. Then this question came that the main features of the British governmental and administrative system continue to influence the present administrative system. So again, you have to compare and contrast British system with right now what we are following. Then in 2000 3 this question came that though India emerged as a sovereign state after independence, the administrative system remained the same as it was during the British period. So again, here you have to tell the similarities between British system and right now after independence, what is the system that we are following. There are a lot of similarities: secretariat system, district collector, tehsildar, sub-divisional officer. So all these things are the same. Right now Police Act is also being followed. Criminal Procedure Code, Civil Procedure Code was formulated in 1908. So these things you can write that these are the similarities. So if you read this particular topic, you can write it. Then in 2002 this question came that all India services as an institution is the result of history. So again you have to tell the whole history about how this all India services formulated and what is their present condition. Then 2001 the question is that the district collector admirably survived the historical change of role from an alien regime to a national one. So you know that earlier it was Indian administrative services was known as Indian Civil Services, but when our country became independent, then again we transformed that ICS into IAS. Similarly IP was transformed into IPS. So you should tell that how it survived and why it was necessary during our independence, and what are the challenges that our country was facing, because we were divided, we are separated from Pakistan was separated from Indian mainland, and there were a lot of challenges, and only ICS was the binding force which was uniting the whole country. So this is the context in which you have to write. Then in 2000 this question came that the period of British rule generated most of the structural and behavioral values of Indian administration, not by limitation but through interaction. So again you have to tell that how the British rule incrementalism means how it improved the past systems and how it kept on adding something new and innovative in order to take care of the new challenges, and then the whole administrative system evolved. So how the evolution occurred, that you have to write. Then in 1997 this question came that under the company's rule a distinction was drawn between regulation and non-regulation provinces. So you should know about what is the regulated province and what is non-regulated province. I am not sure about it, but I think that it could be that regulated provinces are direct controlled province and non-regulated provinces are those provinces which are under subsidiary alliance of British government. They were having this so the British government was sovereign and it was having some important functions, say for example military, communication as well as foreign relations were under Britishers, and rest of the functions were under independent states. So princely states I think are the non-regulation provinces, but still I am not sure about this. Then 1996 this question came that it is not wholly correct to suggest that British rule had seriously attempted to bring about unity in India's administration. So again you have to tell what are the different administrative systems that were there in different part of the country. Say for example in our southern states we have this Roy-Tewari system, then in Bengal we have this Jamindari system, then in our Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand we have Mahalwari system. So these are the three types of revenue collection systems which are different in different parts of India. So similarly you can tell that what are the differences between different provinces. So you can see that a lot of questions have came from this particular topic. And then in 1995 this question came that the purpose of Clive's famous double government was to mask companies' sovereignty. So this you should know that after 1965 the East India Company got Diwani rights over the whole Bengal, Bihar and Orissa area, and that is a very big area, but still the ruler was Nawabs which were appointed by the Mughal kingdom or which were having the relations with Britishers. So it is a complicated history you should know, but there was double government, means Diwani power, that is revenue collection power, was with Britishers, but the administrative power was with the Nawab, and Nawab was not able to fulfill his administrative roles because the main control was with Britishers. So you should know about history in order to write this question. This is very tricky question. Then 1994 this question came that the Bengal pattern of district administration was based on Jamindari system or land tenure. So all you have to write about Jamindari system, what are its features and what are the main policies, how Jamindari system was adopted. This is again the topic of history and you can learn it from historical books, NCRTs. They have clearly given that how the Jamindari system evolved, what was the this jamindari was purchased, how much jamindars used to keep from the land revenue system, and what jamindari was sold also, then absentee landlordism, so many things are there. So these things are there, and the permanent settlement. So we will start the discussion of the main topics after this, and you should remember the questions when you learn about the particular concept so that you are able to relate. So thank you and see you in next video.